But then SCV ready. I had a second one for their attack. SCV ready.
So we saw what they were up to. You go gateway pylon. Is that pylon in your mineral line for like a cannon or something?
Upgrade complete.
Yeah, I always play the multiplayer games pretty defensive, so my next building is actually a fort. Like, it's it's greedy in the way that I'm not very set up to help you in the early game, but against 2 zergs, you're pretty well defended.
Yeah, like you can't worry about
like
me.
double
You like you said, the Protoss is the weakest early game.
Yeah.
So
But
there's this.
I mean, I get extra greedy in terms of I get upgrades going and like just
Yeah, I delayed my upgrades a little bit to get focused on my econ, but once I start them going, I start pumping them out. So, okay, so one guy went expansion and then lings and speed, no speed actually, and the other guy went double. Wow, so he went a macro hatch, huh? The
macro hatch there. That's interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
And here's where my probe saw the drone going out there, so I knew that's where purple wanted to expand. So that's why I hit down there with my stalkers when I got that little pack.
Yep. He throws away some zerglings. I was torn about this wall that I'm building, about where to build it. Because it's so effing open, I figured I just had to protect myself.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You wouldn't want to necessarily build in the middle. No, you were pretty good.
Because I figure if they want to go up my ramp, it'll be a long haul. And if they go for my SCVs at the low ground, I can pull them towards my bunker. Which is exactly what happens right now, is they go for me. So I have to raise my upper depot in case they go for it. And they get 1 SCV for their trouble. Curious about where that guy goes. Because I don't really... Okay, he just goes home. Okay, or watchtower.
He goes to the watchtower, yeah.
I should have figured that.
When I,
So, what's your read right now on what their strategy is? Like, what are they doing? What do you... I mean, we saw the gameplay out, but what do you think their intention is right now?
I'm not sure about teal, but I know purple is going for his fast third base, so pretty much he's stuck on lings for the time being.
Ah, which is why taking that out cripples him.
Right.
That's what he...
Because he's just caring about the production and the extra money, and I get
probably the extra gas, right, to get to like Muta or something normally.
Well, exactly. But at the time being, he's just getting massive, like ling production.
Wow, and you killed this base with 2 spines? Oh, the spines just came.
So I killed 2, canceled 1, and...
So how did you know about that base? Did you have a scout there early?
Did you get lucky? My initial scout probe, I left right here.
Okay.
And a drone came by it, and I saw the drone come by, and I moved I moved my probe down, and the drone was just kind of aggressively chasing me. So I was like, I was pretty.
So effectively, you did get lucky in regard to which side of the map you put it on.
True. Yes, but that probably would have been the first place I would have moved anyway, because
again, luck I use as a relative term. Obviously,
I know. No, absolutely. I did get lucky that I saw it as early as I saw it.
Because I'm just trying to learn how to better figure out what Zerg's up to with their bases and expansions, and I find I don't know how to figure it out other than putting a marine at every one. It's like so hard, Oh, and he had a gold behind him that okay, he needed the lings to kill. I see now why. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even. God, I wasn't even paying attention to that expansion the entire game until you said.
Yeah, FYI, next time we play this map, use those stalkers and clean that out for one of us while we're sitting there.
I could have done that such a long time ago.
Yeah.
I just didn't even see that expansion period.
No, I know. By the time I took it, remember after like 3 engagements, I'm like, by the way, I'm taking a gold third, so my forces won't be here for a bit.
Yep. Okay, so here's what forces the first photon overcharge.
Yep.
It was about 20 lings maybe. He killed.
Get any of your workers? No.
No, he killed one cannon.
Okay. So why did you photon overcharge? Because it's easy and you don't really need this stuff?
Yeah, my stalkers were. You see where the stalkers are? I didn't have units to defend, and
Okay.
with the 2 cannons and the overcharge, I knew that would easily clean what he had.
Dude, how did I hold this push? I guess the
You don't have
cannon and the photon, huh?
Yeah, cannon, photon overcharge.
God. Dude, I'm just like looking at this board.
They definitely miscontrolled. I don't know.
Well, yeah, he didn't have the... Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have his Hydras attacking for a bit there. Yeah, a few of his Hydras are attacking my... Yeah. He moved back and then he moved back and then A moved, so his Hydras were attacking like my gas.
Also, he took a bunch off your Nexus. He took 700 off your Nexus, which is
basically more than half of his army wasn't fighting your army, and so your army cleaned him up.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
So at that point, I knew, based off of how much we killed of Zerg, if we go and just kill an expansion, like that's going to put us in a really good spot because
and they wouldn't have an army to defend an expansion. They'll probably have an army to defend their mains.
Absolutely, they'd have army. Yeah, we'd get trapped. But if we just killed one of the peripheral expansions, then
what if they don't take a peripheral? What if that gold is their peripheral?
Well, it is for one. Now it's the third base for one, but there needs to be something else for.
Okay.
Or someone, and I had taken out purples.
Previous,
so the logical was that teal would have one up. He could have also had the gold, but yeah, just made sense, and I think.
And you just guessed there, and boom, there it is.
Well, that's where it's gonna be. It's the.
Well, couldn't it have been back where the other one was, where you killed it the first time?
Yeah. However, like I said, it could be. However, that was purples, and I had killed purples.
Oh, so you're assuming we want to take out teals?
Yeah, I wanted to hurt teal's economy.
Is in all cases, since you hurt the purple, now hurt the teal? You don't just keep ganging up on one guy?
No, you definitely can, but. Definitely, teal's the one with the tech. Teal's the one who definitely needs the gas.
Oh, fuck, you're right. I didn't even realize that.
And purple's is so easy. See, at this point behind it, I'm building.
So
dark
purple can only make lings right now?
Lings and banelings. Yeah,
He's got 3 evos. What was he hoping?
He's going up to try to do. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I'm just rewinding for a second because you got that when we went out there, you guys got trapped, and I wanted to see like what all went down.
I moved a little too far, a little too aggressive down. I blinked in too quick, but it ended up working out okay. Cause
yeah, I mean I could
my next blink, I blinked on top of you to basically keep as many of your units.
And I stimmed in.
Yeah. So I went in too quick there without you, but then, you've got a good position, and then I try to soak up as much more as I can with by blinking in front of you. And yeah, we lost more than we should, but that was my fault on the engagement, not yours on that one.
No, it's fine. It happens. Like you theoretically, there's a lot of different ways it could have went,
But at this point, I still knew we had enough to just do exactly what you did, just hit the hatch from right there and just leave. So, all in all, it ended up working out pretty good just because we traded armies and killed a base, and so that was... But as I was saying about the right side, behind it, my Dark Shrine is finishing.
Okay.
So next move is warp in a DT and put it down on that right side where that expansion is. So I knew... their focus is going to be on that left side, and a DT is going to be coming on the right side anyway.
Yeah.
So even if Purple had re-expanded there, he's going to have something there harassing him.
Regarding Banelings, I usually Yeah, I see your DT's moving into place right now. Okay. I usually put my Marauders ahead and then try to split my units, but I still have a lot of work to do with that. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do it. Do you have any suggestions? I know you don't play Terran, but you've seen effective Terran. What do you think would be the best way to split against a large number of Banes like this?
Well, splitting comes down to using the mouse selection.
Yeah.
But as far as getting your Marauders in position, the easiest way to do that, which I need to rework on doing, I used to actually do it a lot more than I do now, but the easiest way is to have, say, Marines as control group 1, Marauders as control group 2.
Yeah,
So
that's what I have. I have Marauders as 2, Marines as 3, and usually everything is 1 or something else.
Yeah.
But what do you think is more important? Having the Marauders in front or doing splits? Like, where should I spend my time first?
I would say if Marauders are in front against Banelings, you're pretty well good. Like, as long as your Marines aren't, like, hugging your Marauders.
Yeah, because then I can just select all my Marines and run them
then
back.
Your Marines are going to kill the Banelings, and the Marauders are going to take the hits.
And I don't often see Zerg good enough to flank with Banelings.
Right.
Wow. Dude, that was an awesome blink you just did.
Oh, you saw that against the Baneling? Yeah, that was a fun one.
That's a master level blink right there.
It was only 3. It would have been more fun if
But you blinked 2 in 2 different directions, which was the cool part.
Yeah.
Oh, check this out. Here's the little changeling situation.
Yeah, he had been dropping them. I had been picking them off, but I didn't see those Marines. It was good that you noticed them. He had hit me with a few.
Okay, so basically they're long distance mining because they each only have 1 saturated. Well, no.
Exactly. And so as of desperation, he's going to double expand, so that's why my next guess was up there. Because he needs that econ. He needs 2 expansions now. Because, you know, I'm taking another expansion, you're taking a gold expansion.
What about, speaking of the gold, what about your DT up there? How come you didn't put a DT up there, top left, 11 o'clock?
I thought I had. I think it got. You know what? I don't know. I thought I did. I know I put one there. I sent one there, which ended up killing quite a few drones. And I thought I had put the 3rd one there, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, the 3rd one I think I put in the middle. It killed some units and stuff. I think I just probably just like that gold base didn't see that base immediately. But at this point, I mean, it's pretty well over. You've got great army. You've got 2/2 upgrades.
Yeah, but I did lose
it was a lot of things. And you know what? You did, you know.
Yeah, I just don't know how to deal with that many Banes.
No, I mean, with what's left over, you handled it just fine. I mean, if that was a 1v1 situation, you just basically won the game because he
has no units.
He didn't kill your entire army, and you have enough units to go kill stuff. So.
And all he can do is make lanes.
Yeah, I mean, so it was messy, but it still handled well. I mean, and like he's just gonna be making lings, and at this point, it's the annoying part of he's making lings, but you've got like a personal medevac for every unit you have, so his lings are never going to kill any of your units.
Yeah, no, and I started making Vikings, and I made 2 more starports, just because in case somehow they got a tech up to something with
So this is when Teal thinks he's a professional and builds like 7 Evo chambers and tries to go Vipers.
This is fun. This is a fun idea. Terrible idea, but fun. Yeah, you're right. Lings are 100% useless, except for maybe like run-bys or something and counterattacks at this stage of the game.
Exactly, and I never, let's see. Okay, he did have 2 armor, can I assume he had, okay, so his Lings were 2/2, but
still, not ever going to get through your shields.
And he's not upgrading 3/3. If the game went on any longer, you're going to have 3/3 before he would even be starting 3/3. my stalkers are 3-3 with second shield finishing right now.
So this idea of like,
Once you saw those banelings and you attacked it, then because I was saying just to go home at that point, but
yeah,
once you saw that, and then I saw all these random Evo chambers with vipers, it's like, okay, the game's over.
Yeah, I should have just pulled my Marine. Done exactly what I did before my Marine. But anyway, so when you're fighting a Zerg in a 1v1, and you want to get like his newest expansion, you know, his most vulnerable expansion, and then his next most vulnerable, how do you psych him out so that his whole army's not there? Or like, you know, like I find that whenever I try to do this in a 1v1, by the time I get to his base, he knows I'm coming, or his army gets there in time, so I can't snipe it, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, as Terran, I would suggest like double dropping, like
dropping two
simultaneous
places
drops.
at once.
Yeah, not like one and then a minute later another. Like if you
Right.
can hit like simultaneous.
Like 2
Or-
medevacs per, so do like 4 medevacs 2 and 2.
Yeah, or like something like 2 medevacs in the main, while your main army pushes out and hits like one of those peripheral expansions.
Oh, I like that, because he
So,
has
like-
to send...
He does, if it's like 2 medevacs, or if it's even just one, but it's like, say, like Hellbats or something that he needs to like deal with, like something that like, or if you just or if it's just 1 medevac and you come in at like an angle and you're like killing his spawning pool, like he's
Yeah.
got to respond. As long as you cause something to where he has to respond. Most of the time, even like on the master level, like most of the time with all these levels, their response is going to be like all of their units coming somewhere, and so yeah, you can either do like either simultaneous drops, or like a drop that just either 2 medevacs of something, and then main army hits and runs, so just pushes and then retreats, type of thing.
Yeah. And you do that two or three times, and I'll be in a much better position.
Exactly, and with speed medevacs on certain
Yeah.
like say this map. Are you still in the game? Or no, you're okay.
Yeah, I'm in game. I'm in game.
Oh, you are. Okay, so right here.
Yeah.
So like speed medevacs, obviously there isn't as many 1v1. There aren't any 1v1 maps that would have a scenario this bad.
Sure.
But speed medevacs, you're right there. You're jumping between the third and the main.
Yeah.
And look how far ground units have to run.
Yeah.
They have to go here, then there,
So
and they just can't handle that. So if you can find on certain maps, there are situations like that, and that's what like Terran friendly maps are.
right.
Like for example, that old god awful freaking map that had like the tower in the middle, the 4 spawning locations,
Yep.
and
I remember that
fuck,
map. Yeah.
that was ridiculous. And so with speed medevacs, it actually, you know, maps that might not have been good for that previously, you can actually even pull it off now with speed medevacs just because they're so fast.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's say this example where that's the third and the main is the main, or that's the fourth and the main thing. What the original strategy you said was drop in some speed medevacs here, main army attack there. But would you recommend like speed medevacs on that third, then pick up and go to the main, and as he's running back to the main, then because like if I do speed medevacs in the third and he handles it poorly, I might just get the third without risking my army. But if he does come over, pick everybody up, send them down to the main, and then as he starts running all of his units around, then just use the full army to clobber the third.
oh yeah, I mean you can totally do that too. Like that's perfectly legit as well. Like
My one issue, I like
Really,
that
it's-
idea. My one issue is, versus like a mutiling Bane force, they can usually send the Banes and the Lings one way and keep the mutas separate. But I guess I can kill a muta force with my army.
It's true. I mean it all depends on what stage of the game you're at. Like
Yeah.
this
Well,
conversation.
I usually have
when it's-
problems
when it's
they're
something like
taking
that-
their third or fourth. That's when I
Exactly.
usually have
When
problems.
it's something like that, when they're taking their third, unless they went super fast, while they're taking their third, mutas probably aren't in the equation quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like if it's their fourth, then you got to be careful. If you know they're going mutas, then you have to be extra careful, obviously, with the medevacs. Because yes, when you get to that stage in the game, generally speaking, if you have enough mutas, you can send your lings in one place and then chase the medevacs with your mutas.
Yeah, but I was thinking, even if they do that, as long as the Banes and the Lings and the mutas are separate in some regard, I think my army should be perfectly fine.
Yeah, really, as far as, I've got decent experience, I guess, playing at least on the zerg side of things.
Yeah.
CPT. Really, the most annoying thing is just Terran doing that to you kind of constantly, just slowly wearing you thin, and you're eventually going to get to the point where it's like we had in this game, like, okay, all I can make is lings, and that's not going to do anything against Marine Marauder medevac type of deal.
Because you're denying gas, which denies their tech.
Right, and if you're dropping, you're putting pressure on, you're picking off some mutas, you're picking off some lings, larva is a resource too. Like,
sure,
you players, I definitely do when I play Zerg. You start dropping the ball with your larva injects. Maybe one of your drops picks off a queen.
Yep.
All stuff like that. Like,
and the fact that you're dropping is you're putting pressure and you're making them make units, not drones. Yada yada.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I think I need to revamp my TPvZZ because it's my weakest matchup right now on the high platinum level players I'm playing against. They're having a field day with me, I should say.
Well, like I said, I've got no problem. Like, I'm probably like my Zerg. I can definitely just mess around and practice games.
Yeah, but I definitely am down next time we do it. I was kind of itching for some multiplayer and.
Oh no, absolutely no. I wasn't like saying that's what we needed to do tonight at all. I'm just saying that's always an option.
Yeah, no,
and
I really appreciate it. I'd really enjoy doing that. And even if like you don't do what I'm coming up against, I'm sure you'll just be like, well, also by the way, you should consider X, Y, Z, and that would be some good insight from your perspective as to like what you're feeling with like pressure or lack of pressure or whatever it is.
Yeah, I feel for you. I feel especially at your level, because at least it feels like, especially even when I play Zerg, gives me a hell of a time. You don't have to commit to doing them heavy, but definitely getting comfortable with Widow Mines.
Yeah.
Widow Mines is, I mean, literally one misclick and one Widow Mine can kill like an entire Ling army. It's
I know,
really,
and Baneling armies. I know. I really need to. Well, the thing is,
so that's why actually at lower levels I feel Widow Mine is just such a ridiculous unit. Just
because
it's
the
like
players don't have the ability to micro.
It's like, sure, there's Banshees, sure, there's DTs, but those are like one unit dying at a time type of thing, not like. But I mean, that being said, so I would also suggest that you take advantage of Widow Mine. What's going on here? Oh, that's when they came up that side. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just watching your play since we were talking, and I figured I'd enjoy whatever you're up to because I don't get to watch what you do either.
That little split.
Yeah, with regard to that stuff, Widow Mines are really horrible against certain combinations, but Mutiling Bane is definitely their strength. So I've decided to go against Mutiling Bane. I'm going to go Marine Marauder Medevac Widow Mine. But I'm not playing Marine Marauder. I mean, I'm not playing Mutiling Bane anymore. I'm playing Swarm Host Infestor. I'm playing Infestor Ultra. I'm playing like a lot of different things, with super early Ultras being the most common.
Interesting.
So
yeah.
Again, I am not had high diamond, high gold and low plat. I wasn't having any problem with Mutiling Bane. I was crushing them. Like, my win rate against Zerg was like 80 or 85, something really high percent. But now, it's better play, and rarely do I see Mutiling Bane. So I haven't had the opportunity to play with Widow Mines lately. So
yeah, it's interesting. If it's being really consistent to that's the type of stuff you're seeing, you might want to consider going against the kind of current meta and going back to some siege tank play.
Yeah.
Because that's why, like, no one is, Terrans just aren't building siege. I mean, they even talk about that, like, in the GSL. It's like, siege tank is like a ghost unit in TPvZZ when it used to be, like, the primary unit
I
for
know.
so long. Because of the Widow Mine, obviously.
Yeah.
Widow Mines handle
problem
things.
is Ultra actually do really good against tanks, even when you have a good bio army.
Exactly. And then, like, so if you can, again, it comes down to, like, scouting, of course, but if you figure out that they're doing ultras before they got, like, an unstoppable force,
Yeah.
then that drop play is also super, super strong still, because ultras aren't fast. And, and if they come in, like, say you drop in their main and you get, like, the bonus Christmas present of, like, an ultra hatching out of an egg and you get, like, a free ultra kill or something like that, like, that sucks as a zerg to have ultras, like, picked off as they hatch, because an ultra by itself, unless it's, like, just a handful of marines, but, like, a couple marauders and a few marines with a medevac can pick off an ultra by itself, and the ultra, for whatever it kills, it's not worth it, because super expensive, huge long build time, etc. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's if that's what you're experiencing, I might suggest just siege tanks, because that would probably catch a lot of people off guard, just because a lot of Terran, that's just not in the game anymore.
Yeah, I have to get more comfortable with the early mid-ish game so that I am doing things like drops or whatever, and that usually helps me scout. I find myself more often than not getting a little trapped in my own base defending, so I need to work on that, and that's definitely something that would be something you I would work on very easily.
I'm in general really surprised, and this is even on the pro level, I'm really surprised that there hasn't, I'm sure there will be in the future, but there hasn't yet been any, like, really aggressive tank play, because you can be aggressive with them hell of a lot more early. You don't even have to research siege mode anymore. I'm surprised that, like, they buffed siege tanks immensely by taking off that research, and there's still Ghostville units.
I know. I think it's because of how much each siege tank takes 125 gas. Compared to what we now have with Widow Mines as an option that also hit air. Unless you're going against swarm hosts, which obviously Widow Mines are absolutely horrible against swarm hosts. If you're unless you're going against, which again I'm seeing a lot of swarm host play, so it doesn't make sense for me to use Widow Mines.
I am like, oh
the
god.
Siege tanks are not worth it, because you lose 5 tanks or 2 tanks or 8 tanks. That's, you know, almost 1,000 to plus gas that you would never lose with Widow Mines, and it just is crushing to your army to rebuild it time-wise.
Yeah, swarm host, as much as I bitch about Widow Mines, I don't know, from what I've experienced in my own games and from what I've seen on the pro games, especially, at least on the TOS side, like, holy shit. It's just ridiculous. Like, the one thing Zerg doesn't need is infinite free units. And, like, I would be okay if the swarm host spawned, like, units that were on par with, say, infested Terran. Because infested Terran die quickly. Swarm hosts are beefy.
Yeah.
They are beefy motherfuckers.
They are.
And they do a lot of fucking damage. Like, as a TOS, like, right now, the unstoppable army, essentially, for Zerg just pisses me off. It's so dumb. I'm sure you've seen a few of those games.
Yeah.
Where it's literally, let's build nothing but